everyone, it is that time of year again. We have new iPhones. I have the new iPhone 13s in front of me. We have the iPhone 13 mini, iPhone 13, iPhone 13 Pro, and then iPhone 13 Pro Max. So we're gonna be unboxing them and also breaking down the cameras because a lot of the new improvements are incremental, but some of these new camera features I think are gonna be really huge for creatives who actually use their phones as their dailies, as their alternatives to their big boy cameras. So hi! How are you? My name is Sara Dietschy, rhymes with Peachy if you're new around here, and we're gonna get into it starting with the mini. The mini is personally my favorite, but halfway through the year, oh my gosh, I was like shocked at the color because it, you know, very like deep dark blue, and I opened it up and I'm like, oh, that's black. That's a black iPhone. What I was saying is I started with the mini, this mini iPhone 12 last year. Obsessed with it. I love this size. We've said it many times on this channel now. Shout out to women's pockets who are super tiny, perfect phone. But the battery life just was kind of like, could be better. They've improved the battery life. And I will say in person, the cameras are actually much bigger than I thought. It's actually a sizable upgrade. Wow, what a cool color. Okay, so in the box, you have your literature as well as, one Apple sticker and the doohickey to replace your SIM. People were making fun of me last time that, well, you don't know what that's called. And I'm like, what is it called, guys? What, an ejector tool? A SIM tool? Whatever, doohickey is way more fun to say. You have a USB-C to lightning cable. Yes, I know there's people out there, why doesn't the iPhone have USB-C yet? Well, we just don't have USB-C yet. Hopefully it's coming because the new iPad mini got upgraded to USB-C. So I feel like the iPhone will be one of the last Apple devices to get that. Okay, so we have the mini, feels good, love the color. Gonna turn this on while we're opening up the iPhone 13. Now this is the pink color, hey-o. In the renders, it looks super light, but when you see it in real life, it's definitely pink. It's like an Easter pink, I would say. Oh, what a cool color, yeah, okay. All right, so we got some more exciting colors over here on the normal iPhone 13, more exciting than the color updates on the Pros, but yeah, that looks great. And as you can see right now, we're seeing our first look at the 20% smaller notch. So they upgraded some of the components from the inside, moved things around, made things smaller to make this possible. So we still got the notch, but it is 20% smaller across the board on all of these phones. And wow, now holding the mini again after being on the Pro Max for a while, I'm like, hello mini. It might be time to go back to you. And as you can see, reminder, these iPhones do not come with a power brick. So they come with the cable. Apple is kind of assuming, hey, you probably have a USB-C power brick. What I've found from my non-tech savvy, like cousins texting me for tech support all the time, they get really confused because all of their power bricks that they do have is USB type A. They don't have a lot with USB type C. So I do, for the average consumer, that is still confusing. So that's something that you might want to add in your shopping bag, is just the additional brick, since it is not included with your iPhones. Okay, so here's a comparison of the white iPhone 12 mini from last year and the new iPhone 13. Can you tell a big difference between the white and the pink? Because in real life, you definitely can, but I'm looking at my cameras and I'm like, Okay, moving on to the iPhone 13 models, we have the gold color and also the new Sierra blue. Last year with the iPhone 12, the special color was a similar blue. This is much more light. This is more, oh gosh, how would I describe this? This is more of like a dusty, mysterious blue. Well, I think I called that a mysterious blue too. So what is it, Sarah? Both of the blues just make you think. Ooh, so shiny. That stainless steel. That's the Texas coming out. That stainless steel, it just looks good. 12 Pro Max, 13 Pro Max, as you can tell, just smaller in width, the notch up here. So we'll get this set up. Last but certainly not least, we have the iPhone 13 Pro. Now the biggest difference is probably these camera sizes. These elements here are definitely bigger, but we have bigger sensors on all of the models across the board. So you're gonna be getting more light into your image, especially with the Ultrawide, which I'm so excited because the Ultrawide is notoriously grainy, and now I don't think we'll have that problem. Here is a comparison of the gold from last year, the iPhone 12 Pro Max with the gold finish versus this year's gold finish. They are identical, I would say. So the prices from left to right, we are starting at $699 with the mini, $799 for the normal iPhone 13. Moving on to the iPhone 13 Pro, they start at $999, and then the Pro Max starts at $1099. Now, the biggest upgrades is the normal iPhone 13 now starts at 128 gigs of storage. Last year it was 64, which was like an abomination. I'm very glad that we're starting now at 128 gigs. Now on the Pro Max, you have the option of 1 terabyte of storage. Now, I know a lot of people use cloud storage, so that just sounds like overkill, but I know a lot of my photographer friends, I mean, they'll literally have beyond 10,000 pictures in their phone. They do a lot of editing, and also now with the upgrade and feature of recording in ProRes, which remember is a beautiful Kodak, but the same reason that ProRes is super easy to edit with on a computer is the same reason why it just is a huge file size. So you can record a 10-minute video and it will be all the gigs. So maybe that's where that 1 terabyte model comes in if you're just gonna be shooting all of the ProRes 4K video on the Pro models. Now the ProRes Kodak is something we're going to see later this fall, not right now, which is kind of a bummer, come on, but that's similar to what Apple did last year when they released Apple Pro RAW for photos, shooting raw photos from the camera. So I'm excited to test that out. Something also to consider when going for the Pro devices, if ProRes is important for you, is you have to go with a 256 gig model or up. So that's gonna obviously bump the price beyond that $1099 starting point. But okay, I'm gonna run through a few of the features that you should just know about these new phones as I kind of show off some of these new accessories that we have. And then we're gonna dive deep into the cameras and I'm gonna show you guys a lot of examples. We're gonna go out and about. Okay, these new iPhones, you know, they are the iPhone 13, but again, they're kind of like the 12S. So incremental updates. What is very welcome is battery updates. So we have an upgrade of 1.5 hours with the mini, 2.5 hours with the iPhone 13, 1.5 hours with the 13 Pro, and then 2.5 with the Pro Max, which is absolutely bonkers actually, because the Pro Max battery life is so good already. I never have to charge it twice in a day. With the mini, I would literally have to charge a full charge midday. MagSafe was introduced last year with the iPhone 12. Remember, that is batteries on the back of the iPhone where you can snap on accessories like this leather MagSafe wallet here. These MagSafe wallets are actually new. They're compatible with Find My iPhone. So you'll be notified if this wallet is not attached to your iPhone for over a minute. So that will be like, hey, you left your credit card somewhere. What are you doing? And it's set to a minute because a lot of times people just, you know, take off their wallet to grab their cards, pay, and then they put it back on. So you wouldn't want to get just a crazy amount of notifications every time that you take it off. These new MagSafe wallets are reverse compatible with the iPhone 12s. However, they will not work with the clear iPhone case for some reason. And one of the biggest upgrades these phones received, other than the cameras, is the new Pro Motion display. So if you have an iPad Pro, you are aware of this. This is where you can go up to 120 hertz on the display. However, Apple, you know, has their special sauce where it's an adaptive refresh rate. So when you have stopped scrolling on a page, guess what? It's gonna bump down to the lowest 10 hertz. And then when you start scrolling again, it'll bump up to at its highest 120 hertz. So I think you'll find just normal animations on the phone. They're gonna be much more snappy. I always like to compare like how my Twitter feed looks. So glad we finally got it. Better late than never. Okay, so the cameras, they've gotten better. The sensor sizes are bigger in all of these iPhone 13s in comparison to the iPhone 12. So we're gonna go out and about and test it out. But this video is sponsored by me. I am so excited to put these out in the world. The team at Moment, they have such amazing designers and they helped me with this next level peachy merch. Just peach pods, amazingly fuzzy, beautiful cases for your AirPods. So the dental floss size, that's what I call, I know I should say the more official term, but also the AirPods Pros. And I tell you, I just sit here and I just, you know, some people have stress balls. I have my AirPod cases. Something really cool about this design on the side, you have a place to loop around a strap if you want to do that. Also on the back, we just have a subtle stay peachy. Mwah, beautiful. And you know, if you're feeling peachy, this is the right design for you, but we also did dark mode for the more mysterious people out in the Peachy Fam audience. This might be for you. We also have watch bands. Look how beautiful. It's just so, and then we also have a watch band dark mode option. This is a vegan leather. I really like leather options, but it's like, hey, where's the PU leather at? It feels really nice. It's flexible. You have a very subtle stay peachy, and then a little peach at the end for the people who want to be a little bit more clandestine. That's a word, right? A little bit more subtle. So if you're interested, you can go to peachymerch.com. We also released a limited 100 shirt run to celebrate 10 years on YouTube. Yes, that's right. Last Friday was my 10-year anniversary of making YouTube videos. Wow, crazy. So I don't know if those are still available, but those are up as well. And let's rock and roll. Cinematic mode is the coolest feature of the iPhone 13 Pro and 13. It's also in the 13. It's not just a Pro feature. And it's just another mode in your camera. You swipe over to cinematic, and this example is just so cool that I'm about to show you. So looking at this example right now, there's a few things going on. So it is like a portrait video mode, right? So it's making the background much more blurry. Now it's important to note with a smartphone, you know, you're still gonna have a very small sensor compared to like the camera we're shooting on right now has a full frame sensor. In comparison, two different sizes. So in order to get that blur in the background, the bokeh, you're supposed to pronounce it bokeh. I can't get it in my head that that's how you say it. So with a smaller sensor, you have to go in, do some computational things, and that's what Apple's doing to get that blur in the background. So it's actually making those calculations. Okay, the human is right there. Let's like do soft blurs around the hair. And that's why it works much better with this example than it did when I was like in low light taking videos of a cup. You know, like there's a ton of different cup sizes, but most of the stuff that you're going to use this with is like people, pets, those types of things, and the algorithm has trained for that, so it's going to be better at those examples. And as you can see, it's doing a really good job. So it's blurring the background. It's saying, hey, this person's face is in focus when they're looking at the camera. When they look away is when we want to focus on the other person's face. And then we can go in here, and if you see at the bottom, there's all of these different keyframes, and that's when the focus is changing. And we can go in here and just change it. Okay, when it's focused on my face, let's just turn it to John's face. Okay, guys, I really thought this was gonna be a gimmick, but yeah, I mean, this looks so good. Okay, so the last thing we can do, if you see in the top left-hand corner, you have f2.8. That's the f-stop that it's simulating that a, you know, full-frame camera would look like, basically. If we want less blur in our image, in our video, let's change it to F8. We're gonna click that, we're gonna go, and as you see, as I'm adjusting, we can go all the way up to F16. The background and the second face is getting more in focus. You have less blur. We can actually go all the way down to F2, get it even more blurry. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, there was a little bit of hunting there. There's a little bit of like focus with my face, but there, it looks good. Oh my gosh, this looks so cool. Ah! Okay, so I just want to see a F8 example. Let's do F10. So that'll be a little bit less blur. It's like updating in real time. I don't have to wait for it to save. All right, we'll play this. Let's see, so it's at F10, so it's a little less blurry. It's still doing it. Wow. So it's capturing all of the depth data in the image in order to do that. That's, okay. Oh, cool. So as you can see, when cinematic mode works, it works actually really well. Where I noticed where it kind of lacked is when it's taking a profile shot of a human, it kind of struggles around the nose. So it's not perfect, but it's much better than I thought. When it comes to the iPhones, the image that you get straight out of the iPhone has always been pretty level. They don't oversaturate or over sharpen, something that maybe the Samsungs of the world do. And so photographic styles do give you more flexibility when it comes to the image you're getting straight out of your phone. I ended up not really using it at all. This is something that I'll probably need to see as I spend more time with this phone. I always just take pictures. Okay, it looks good, it looks iPhone-y, and then I'll bring it into an app like Visco to edit it and make it look the way I want it to look. So I'll definitely cover this again in my full review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna follow up with full reviews for each of these devices. I just need a little bit more time. I need more than a few days. You can stick around for that. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you like this video, and check out peachymerch.com if you want the fuzziest AirPod cases in all of the land, fuzziest Apple Watch band ever. That's at peachymerch.com. Until next time, y'all, stay peachy. Okay, bye.